And then he was like, okay, I'll take the note of that. And like, yo, they didn't cut me loose until the last possible second. I was almost selected. And I was like,
why you talking about it like you're getting drafted to Vietnam, bro?
because bro, it's mad boring.
Yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast.
It's like when you're younger and you don't know any better. Like when I first got a therapist when I was young, and it was kind of like you. I went to a couple sessions and I was like, I don't need this because the person wasn't listening. It was just telling me what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, man. Like, and then I thought it was like, oh, well, then therapy doesn't work. I didn't realize as I got older, and the therapist that I'm with now, I'm very, very cool with her. You got to move around. Like I remember my wife initially when she was like, oh, like, you know, I want to go to therapy. She was like looking at people that are like-minded. She was like, you know, a woman, highly educated and stuff like that. And then when she was looking for me, she was like, do you want a Hispanic? Or I was like, I don't care. Like, you know, like if the person knows how to do their job, they could be an Asian, like, person that barely knows English. It's like, it's all about if they know how to do their job and they're qualified. You know what I mean? It's a different story. You're going to a psychiatrist and you're gonna do meds and stuff like that. Yeah, you look at the qualifications, but I'm not like certain people, even are like that with doctors, like, oh, I'll only go to a brother, or I'll only go to a man doctor. I'm like,
listen,
I go to whoever is
I ain't trusting
there.
I ain't trusting, you know, I ain't trusting Carlos at the doctor's office, just so you know. He better be Akbar or
That's
Muhammad.
even worse. Akbar trying to find out how to bomb you.
No, because the Indian, there's a lot of Indian, you know, a lot of good Indian doctors, bro.
So the funny thing is, I work for a major hospital, and I go to a completely different hospital because I deal with so many people in my job. The last thing I want to do is, like, if I go to a urologist or physical, have somebody that I was answering emails for, like holding my Johnson, like cold-headed cough. Like, you know, like, and they're like, hey, so that thing that happened with my computer, you think it's gonna come back? It's like, bro, what are we doing here? Like,
oh gosh,
y'all can't be sharing drinks on Saturday. Then on Monday he'll be like, cough.
Like the weirdest thing, when I was younger, I went and had my adenoids and tonsils out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was stupid. I did it over Memorial Day weekend. So my friend, she's a nurse. I went to her hospital and she worked the ER or whatever the post-op, and she was like, she said, I assume she was joking around. She was like, oh, you know, I came by and saw you when you were still recovering, you know, I made sure your gown and everything was fine. And I was just like, oh, like, it's a funny joke, but still, like, wait, what?
Oh shit!
oh
Chris,
man.
yeah, you like, what's your experiences with therapy? Because, you know, Lord knows the physical therapy ain't working. So what about the mental?
Oh, physical works just fine.
I don't know.
When she says "ay papi," but yes,
Yeah, ain't nobody saying that to you. They're saying, "Hey, papi, let's go."
Like Luis Guzman. Hey, papi.
Nah. Puerto Ricans, hey, Papa, come on, what we doing here? You know what I'm saying?
So what? You get PT as well? Like, you got a bad limb or something, or he was just fucking with you?
Oh no. Oh no, he just fucking with me. But no, I've been to therapy quite a few times.
Yeah.
Some because the military made me go. Some kind of, I chose to go myself just because I'm a really, really analytical thinker and just try to piece things together and look at things. And I feel like when I get to a brick wall and I can't figure out how to get through it, I know I need a brain bigger than mine. And matter of fact, last time with the therapy, not last time, maybe the time I chose to go on purpose.
I mean, we smile and laugh, but that, I mean, I love the honesty, man.
No, I mean, I can be real about it because it's my life, you know what I'm saying? But I actually ended up cussing my therapist out because we got into a discussion about, I guess, knowing what you're doing and just not doing it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it came down to something I said, look, my problem with this is you're supposed to be smarter than me.
Yeah. You
went to school, you got these degrees, you know, I'm in here talking to you. So if I'm talking to you and I feel smarter than you, I'm in the wrong room. And I think he changed his whole perspective because he came back with some. Okay, we gonna do this now because I think I challenged him to don't cater to my feelings. Do your fucking job. You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
I recommend I commend any therapist, but like we were talking before we started recording, some therapists just don't fit, man.
Yeah.
Like I had
you got like a car. You got to shop around. You can't just take the first one that comes to you. It's just sometimes just personalities don't fit. You got to find that right one that and sometimes it's not even about how much degrees they got, how much schooling they got. Sometimes they just their ear for whatever you're speaking about just it lends itself better, and you can bounce your ideas or your thoughts off them in a way that's more palatable to your personality.
Yeah, and honestly, we're all from three different backgrounds that are non-Anglo-Saxon, Caucasian. It's tough for us to find individuals that understand or like are suited for whatever our needs are for therapy wise or whatever.
Mhm.
So it's like it's easy if you're like, a person that your therapist has only grown up in the same world that you and your patient understand, then I get it. But it's like, I can't go to a therapist and be like, oh man, growing up as a Dominican in New York City is hard, and you're like a white guy from Salt Lake City. You're gonna be like, wait, what? Like you can't really give me advice on that. Like,
He gonna say, "Screw you guys, I'm going home."
Well, speaking of being in a room with people that are a lot smarter than y'all, welcome to the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. It's your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
Your boy Chris Brown, aka Red Ford Delta.
it's your boy Marcos, aka the Sunset Kid. We're over here at Narcosi. Everybody's wearing long sleeve shirts.
Bro, Florida has been getting chilly, bro.
Shit, chilly ain't the fucking word.
Yeah, and it's that humidity in the air that be fucking it up. So
like I legit, I took out snow
humidity.
It's humidity.
This
you,
guy.
You ever see how it's spelled? It's humidity.
No, but I heard like somebody sent me something in West Palm. They're like it's so cold, and they showed a picture of like a dead lizard. The lizard froze to death.
They be freezing. They freeze, and then when they thaw out, they start running again. That shit look like Wile E. Coyote.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Like it's hilarious. They were like, that's how you know it's cold in Florida, when they just freeze and then they can't do anything until like they get thawed out.
Well, I mean, but speaking of cold, like the movie we watched this week, it's kind of the message that came across is you got to kind of have a cold heart if you want to, depending on what sign you want to lay on. Go ahead, Marcos.
Man, listen. If this was starting an all Dominican cast, this movie would have made it past. It'd be like, oh no, snow me. First of all, I would have left. I would have been like, you know what? I hate everybody here. I would have shouted out every race, every creed.
I wouldn't have
gotten out of that. Like,
oh man,
I wouldn't have got picked. I said, hey man, that the defendant's related to me, bro. Just let me go.
Like the entire movie is like. I feel like this movie, even the ending, is supposed to be like how we want to see ourselves, but it's not actually how we are. If that was in the real world, they would have been like, oh, well, they would have high-fived at the end and be like, he's dead. We gonna be fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Okay, Chris, you pick the movies. Why don't you let the people know what movie you watch this week?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, shit of all ages. I picked Juror number 2.
You didn't go for it. You didn't do it.
I am the badass. No, the road dog, Jesse James. I fucked it all up. I fucked that. I stopped it. You know what I'm saying?
Stop, man.
I'm popping mine in. I'm popping my drink early, just so y'all know. So,
what are you drinking?
Coke Zero. I'm still on carnivore. So, don't worry about me. Just tell the people what we watching.
Look, you the one that cracked open your can.
Yeah, I know, because I'm thirsty. I didn't have some beef jerky, and I'm thirsty.
Well, I'm drinking the same shit I drink, but this
shit
is in a non.
This still got a preschool cup.
It's a Dragon Ball Z G Fuel cup, but I'm still drinking my orange Mia, aka
your orange cheek juice.
Chris got that. Chris, you got that purple drink?
The great drink. Nah, I got some simple.
It's like I want water, that purple stuff.
And my Spotify cup. Oh man,
cool. What movie did we watch?
We watched Juror number 2 on Max, I believe, written and directed by Clint Eastwood, I think.
The
I don't know if
whitest
it was
man in the
written,
world.
but I know it was definitely directed and produced. I don't know if it was, but why? Why did you pick this movie? Because you're the one, you brought it up a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, we haven't been able to record the last couple weeks, but you're back. But yeah,
Okay, so
what was it about this movie that piqued Chris's interest besides the judicial system? Because Chris is familiar.
I'm about to say, look, I was trying to find ways to win cases. I
You
stay
know
in the
what?
law.
I'm gonna break it down. I'm just gonna speculate. The shit kept popping up in the splash screen of HBO Max. That's why you picked it.
Now, okay, now real talk, honestly, because I didn't realize it had came in the movie theaters before. Probably
It's
Was
during
weird.
it? I didn't even know that.
they said it flopped in the movie theaters, but did good on Max. So
Okay.
I think subliminally, it was a movie I wanted to see from before, but forgot about it.
Yeah.
So when I seen it, like something just stuck out to me, like, yo, I want to watch this movie,
Okay.
and I did, and shit, I actually liked it a lot.
I
Okay.
mean, it got high ratings. It's sitting at 92 of Rotten Tomato, which that and a sandwich will get you a sandwich. It doesn't
Yeah,
really.
but it also didn't even make its budget back. So is that a symptom of like, you get those movies that the critics love that are generally, do, okay as far as like box office? Like, why can't you have both in a
I'm
movie
not
like
sure.
this? What is it about this movie that stops it from, going gangbusters at the movie theater?
But see, that's what tripped me up because look, watching it, I don't know why it didn't do good in movie theaters. I don't know if the promotion was wrong or what happened, but it was, in my opinion, it was a good watch, a
Okay.
good thriller without all the extra shit. In my opinion,
Yeah,
I
Marcos, what do
think
you think?
I think it's the title character, like Nicholas Holt. He's he's great, but he doesn't have a good record as the leading man. And you have a couple other people that, like Tony Collette, who played the prosecutor. Um, her time has passed. Like, you know what I mean? Now she's picking more meaty roles based on the actual character she's playing instead of getting, a huge paycheck. And I think it's just that. Like, honestly, if you think about all the other Clint Eastwood movies, he has a big star that's playing a role that's different.
Yeah.
Now, Nicholas Holt he qualifies as the biggest star here, and he does play a character that you never really see him play. But I think, there's certain things like you mentioned the budget. I don't even know what the budget was. I have to look it up because didn't it feel like what's his name? I keep calling him Jonah Jameson.
oh,
Yeah, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, when J.K. Simmons, it's like this man filmed. It felt like he filmed his entire role in one day and was like, "I'm out." Like,
he probably did, but his role was actually whatever his screen time was important to me.
Yeah. Oh, it was very important, very integral to the story. I don't know how real it is because I don't know if you could actually get away with, do being what he was and then being in the position that he was.
I mean, well, jury duty, you can. You have to come from all walks of life. Now, he can't be a current cop.
Yeah.
He was a retired cop, and I like that they actually were like, "Oh, they dismiss him." If this was a movie made in the '90s, he would have convicted the guy and found him guilty. Like, it would have been like, "Wait,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
how
yeah.
is even a thing?" Like,
I, no,
but
I like this movie. I feel like one of the reasons why I didn't do good in theaters because realistically, except for Oppenheimer, not a lot of like, adult dramas nowadays do well in theaters. And I think it's because, people like, I think if for you to get up off your couch and go to the theaters, they kind of want that like spectacle.
Mhm.
Whereas a movie like this probably does great on streaming because you could just pop it on at night, watch it at home over dinner or something like that. You know,
Hmm.
because I feel like I like going to movies, to the theater to watch movies like this, but not a lot of people, unless you got explosions and superheroes and sex, you ain't really going to the theater.
Hmm.
but
Like the extra
this
stuff.
movie, like, it wasn't big budget. It was $35 million. Like,
Yeah.
that's like some TV shows have that for a season. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. I
Like,
know that, but that's what I mean. That's why I think movies like this do better on streaming because the entryway to them is easier. Whereas, if you're going to the theater, unless you're really into story, you're kind of watching it, looking, hoping you're getting your money's worth. I don't know
yeah.
if this is like one of those movies that from the trailers are gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna get my money's. I'm gonna be really into this story.
But see, that's what COVID messed up because people just go to the movie theater just to get away. No matter what
Hmm?
movie was playing, you want to go, just go mind your business for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it sucks now that all movies I want for them to get your attention. Like you said, got to be a major action movie
Yeah.
or some extra titties and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you can't just go sit there in front of a big ass screen and just enjoy a story.
Yeah.
Like turn your phone off because you know people got a problem doing that these days. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just chill out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why when I saw Oppenheimer in the theater, I was surprised it did as well as it did. Maybe because it's a you know it's such a renowned moment in history. Like people knew what it was about. They're familiar with it. So it had you had that sense of like, okay, I want to see how this great director translates that moment in history to film. So that's probably attracted people to that movie. Whereas something like this, yeah, it's a smaller movie. So for a lot of people, they're just like, yeah, I'll just watch it at home, kind of thing, which sucks because like you said, I actually really like this movie too. I like the story behind it. I like
I
the kind
liked
of
it
twists and
too, but
turns, the reveals.
it's a typical movie that in terms of Clint Eastwood. Like you remember, what's it called, $1 Million Baby? It's
Yeah,
like so it's like you always feel like reality is gonna set in hard, like
yeah.
towards the ends of his movie. But I did like the fact that his daughter played the person that died. I don't know if you guys
Mm.
saw that in the credits. That's his daughter.
Oh no,
Okay,
I
no, I
didn't
didn't
know
know
that.
that.
No.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a
so
lot
all right,
a lot of
so
good
have
cameo.
any of you guys ever been in a situation where you had to like be picked for jury duty and then had to, or you guys actually got picked for jury duty?
I got picked 2 years ago, and I hope to never ever sit again.
What?
I thought like everybody's like, oh man, just answer these questions and no blah blah blah. No, I got pushed through. I kept saying I'm not comfortable, and then I got out of the jury
I'd have
duty.
been like, them jury seats they ain't big enough for me, bro. I can't.
Oh, and then you got to sit there. You can't have your phone out. You can't have your phone out.
It's
You can't.
core, of course not.
I know you're supposed to pay attention, but you can't
No,
be
but it's
not have
not
your phone
even
with you.
court. It's the jury selection process. Like, and you got to sit there, and then you could answer these questions like wild as hell. Like, yo, like why can't I be in? Oh, because I assume this person is black and I hate them. Like like the
Mm.
old stuff that people are like. You just say you hate everybody. No, they bring you up to talk to the judge, and he wants a full explanation to what you answer. And when I heard that, I put answers like there was like the jury
So do you
case
love
that
chicken?
it was funny because they were like, "How do you feel? This case is about somebody that got robbed and shot." And I was just like, "I'm not comfortable on this case." And the guy asked me to explain, and I was like, "Well, the gun violence and everything." He was like, "What about the gun violence?" I was like,
Yeah, cause
my cousin got shot. Like I don't like
you got
And then he
PTSD.
was like, "Okay, I'll take the note of that." And like, yo, they didn't cut me loose until the last possible second. I was almost selected, and I was like,
Why you talking about it like you getting drafted to Vietnam, bro?
I
because
was
bro, it's mad boring. You sitting there all day, you're sequestered, you're watching a hospital TV with a fat back that's playing like Jumanji from a videotape, and like you got weird people around you. It's like the only time outside of a bus station that you would see people like this. You got the guy that comes in his uniform that thinks he's gonna leave for work, even
Yep.
though they tell you that you're gonna be there all day. You got the person that comes in with like looking like he just came to play ball, and when they tell you that you're supposed to dress a certain way,
Yeah.
and then you got people that look completely like homeless or weird, and then it's like you spin there, and it's like you just gotta sit there. You can't leave until because lunch and everything is coordinated, and this is just the day that they select you.
see
Like my
he's worried about lunch.
no, because you can't go out, you can't leave the building until you get dismissed for lunch. Like it's not like you could leave and come back. Like you got to stay on premise. Like my manager got selected, and he was at jury duty for 2 weeks. And him himself, he was telling me like, "Yo, like I tried to like." I was like, "Nah, I don't like Caucasians. I don't like Hispanics." Like he tried, and they still picked him. And then it's like when you get there, then you got to deal with some people like in the movie that are like, "Oh, I don't know if it's a slam dunk. I don't know." And it's like,
Chris,
bro,
what experiences do you have with jury duty, Chris?
Well, see, I've never had
Besides
jury
being in
duty.
the defendant's chair.
We ain't gonna talk about that. We don't speak about that. Um, but no, I've actually never got chosen for jury duty. I don't know if I just dodged it or because I moved around so much or whatever.
Yeah.
But I would actually like to do it just for the experience, just to see.
Yeah, see, the thing is,
I'm
not,
good.
40-year-old me says yes. I actually wouldn't mind sitting down just see if I could actually, figure out what happened, in a case or some shit like that. But the one time I got close to being selected for jury duty, I couldn't do it because the defendant was my friend's brother. So I was like, oh, that's my friend's brother. I went to high school with her.
Oh
All right,
shit!
cool.
What was this? What in Boston?
Springfield, yeah.
Oh,
I was sitting there. They were sitting there. I was like, "Oh shit!" And
He's
I
in
forget
Cambodia.
what he did. I forget what he did, but I was just like, "Yeah, I can't."
It's still rice. He's like, sorry, I can't do this.
Listen, first of all, I grew up around black people. If they were stealing rice, they were stealing it from the Chinese restaurant. So I should have had some hate towards them.
oh my
Oh
god!
man,
Like, damn, that's crazy. Like every time it's like, uh, I got called in New York, and New York, the questions bullshit actually work. Like, if you fill it out, and then like an hour later, they're like, blah blah blah, you're dismissed, you're dismissed, and you can tell who are the people that lied on the questionnaire that
Yeah.
are like, yeah, I hate everybody.
All right, so the story of the movie is essentially you got a guy who gets picked. He's got a wife who's pregnant, baby's about to come, and then he has to go to jury duty. He gets selected to be on the jury, and then when he starts hearing about the case, finds out, realizes that he was present during the actual crime, and then some PTSD and some flashbacks happen. He might think that he's the one that might have actually been the defendant or the guilty party in this whole thing. So now he's trying to, essentially get the defendant off of the crime, but not put, any eyes on him or try to get the crime to like what would you guys do if you were in that situation? Chris, you go first. What would you do if you was stuck in that situation?
and you talking about as the main character, like
Yeah, if you were the main character.
Honestly, I don't know if I could live with that because I'm a big stickler. I do have to sleep at night, and even if it was an accident, knowing I'm about to put some, okay, I've done some time for the record. knowing I'm about to put somebody away for this long for something they didn't do,
Mhm.
I I don't know if I could let him go. I still wouldn't want to go, but I would try to twist it around some way where he didn't do it, neither did I. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I could possibly get that off, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's I don't know, like I don't know, that the whole movie just really really tripped me up with the whole court system in general. Like the old dudes, like I saw this man pull over, it was him right there. No, the fuck it wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But some people just want to watch people burn,
Yeah.
no matter how he was as a person. It's like if you got something on him, like courts will fucking burn you.
Yeah.
I've been there too many times. They brought so much shit, like, and he stole crackers from the grocery store. He was 10.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he
yo,
still got this outdated Sprint bill. And
I'm like, what are y'all talking about? I'm in for a traffic ticket. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
yeah. What about you,
But-
Marcos? What would you have done if you were the main character? Like if you were faced with this scenario?
Like I said, man, this whole movie would have ended real quick. I'd be like, yeah, that motherfucker did it. What's for lunch? Are we going? Like, I would have been like, ooh, that's crazy.
Note to
First of all,
self:
like,
never do a crime with Marcos.
I know.
no, it's
It
like
was him right there. That's Marcos. That's what it's gonna say on your tombstone. It was him right there.
James Michael Seif. Like they had this character. He was not a redeemable character.
Yeah. He was kind of a piece of shit. That's what they established.
Like,
He was kind of a
like
piece of
the only crux of this movie that the character was scared because not that he cared about him was he was a good human being. But I would have been like, yo, eventually he would have slapped her up and killed her. Like, you know what I mean? Like the guy, like I feel like he's on a first name basis with the cops. Just how many domestic violence charges he has. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Man,
Listen, I get that, but like, look, okay, just because I'm a piece of shit, don't mean I got to go down for some shit I didn't do. Send
but
me
hold
away
on,
for some
hold
shit
on,
I
hold on.
did.
Hold on, Makazi. If it happens to you, right?
Yep.
You do something now, and then all of a sudden you feel like somebody else is blamed, and you have a child on the way.
Mhm.
You're doing good. You're sober, and all this stuff. Like you're on the right path.
Yep.
Do you think you know what? You gonna turn there and tell your wife or your girlfriend, which is weird. They kept saying his girlfriend. I'm like, how come they're not married? This is a weird ass movie. But anyway,
Like why? Because they white. They're supposed to be married with kids. They can't be. If there's another minority, it's okay.
supposed to be
This
good
guy.
Christians or something.
Yeah.
from
I
Mount
don't know.
Caucasus.
They seem like they were the way they're all of a sudden they were like, oh no, this has to happen.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna turn around and tell my wife and be like, hey, so this one thing that I thought was nothing last year, now I gotta like, yo, that's a hard
Listen,
pill to swallow. You
But
telling me again, when I said earlier, this is a movie on how we see ourselves or we
Mhm.
think we see ourselves. Is it how we are? I'm in the minority, I guess, because I'm like, nah, it's not on me, brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey,
but look, we start putting pieces together. And he's sitting there. I don't know if I could have lived with that because he didn't do anything wrong. Because he did get a check. He thought he hit a deer. Now, if you're in
yeah,
court,
he did. Yeah, the dude, he did. We still don't know if he hit the girl.
mhm.
He
But
said that because he got out, he thought he hit a deer, saw the deer crossing sign, which fuck deer crossing signs. I have my own story with those, but don't worry about that. But like, yeah, so like we don't even know if he actually did. It's more than likely the evidence is pointing towards him, but we don't know if he's guilty. So yeah, maybe maybe I don't know if I did it. There might be a chance, but I feel like this dude might be innocent. Like, do I send a guy to jail for something that I have a really good feeling he's innocent for,
see, I don't know if I can
even
do
though he's a
that.
piece of shit?
again, it's one of those situations, man, that it's like, brother, like, you know what I mean? Like, it, like, morally, people want to act like they're holier than thou. But like, if I'm sitting there
You're gonna act
and I'm
real
him
Hispanic,
and I don't know him and
like fuck him.
like what I mean, yeah,
I,
basically,
I can see Marcus
like
right now.
like
Aquí te
like
puedes hablar guanajuato. Me no speak español. English, no. Never. Like, what?
like Chris, what Chris said
He-
earlier, he was like, "Oh, let's not do a crime with Marcos. If you're my homie and we out there doing some illegal activities, that's different. Like I'll take a charge if I'm not snitching. But I'm like, this man has nothing to do with me. Is it gonna affect my day to life? You know what, Chris? That's what therapy's for.
but
First of all, there was a couple of things in this movie that like I've never gone to an AA meeting, but I do know familiar about the process and everything. I didn't realize the sponsor is like a priest. The fact that Kiefer Sutherland, which was amazing in this movie, didn't go to the cops behind his back, it's crazy to me.
because I don't think he's had any real evidence. He was
Yeah,
going off of word of mouth. Because
yeah.
even the dude was like, I don't know if I did it, but everything is saying that
I
I
know.
could have done it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like saying
I mean-
hey, I think this guy might have, done a crime, even though we got a guy on trial right now who's is about to be convicted of it because everything's pointing in his way. I get what you're saying. Like, if we're looking storybook wise, morally speaking, you don't want someone going to jail for some shit that they didn't do. But again, at the same time, they asked that question, he is kind of a shitty dude. So, if it wasn't going to jail for this, he might have been going to jail for something else. Are we just taking someone who was already on that way and just expediting him?
But look, let's
first
think
class
about it like
mail?
this though. Let's think about it like this, because people change every day. What if this would have been one of those situations where he was a shitty ass dude,
Mhm.
and because somebody told the truth and saved him, he decides to change his life and do something different because of that situation.
Hey, you
You
know
know what I'm saying?
what? If I'm related to him, more power to you. If I don't know that brother, hey, I would have like, you know what? You could clip this. I would have been like the guy, like what did a man do in the Titanic when they
Oh,
were
he,
Oh, when the dude jumped in, put the coat on and jumped in the
yeah,
fucking boat.
yeah,
fuck yeah, I got dreams.
like, I don't see shit.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck y'all. I got dreams. That's what you did. That's you, Marcos.
Yeah, like y'all can die all you want. That's good.
oh man,
I live in reality, man. Like
But no, okay. So I got a question.
y'all say this, but then y'all the same motherfuckers that somebody's like, oh, like, sir, can you give up your seat? This person is gonna miss their connection, or they're gonna see their family. But then, I fuck that.
I
Nah,
pay for the seat.
he popped his collar on it.
like nah. That's the same way I feel. Like I'm living my life. What? I ain't trying to go to jail. They ain't catch me.
You know what?
Hey, like the Drake song, God, whatever the hell.
But here's the thing. Okay, and here's an aspect about it that like again, it kind of drives home Marcos's point. Like, the reason why the jury and not the jury, the reason why the court system and everybody was going so hard on the guy was because of his
Track record.
his track record. He's set up this scenario for his life so that when this situation comes, people believe that he could have did it. And in those instances, do you sit there and look at your life and be like, man, like maybe if I got to pass on this, I got to be better because like I set myself up to the point where I'm getting convicted of some shit.
You would assume just like somebody that's on drugs.
Real quick when you did that, bro.
Huh?
You moved real quick when you did that. That shit was fast.
No, I'm like, you assume because like people get second chances all the time, B, and they waste them. Like, you know what I mean? Like I work in the medical industry, so I see people that come in third, fourth heart attack. Like, they still out there eating gravy and steak. They're like, it's all good, baby.
Now, that's like our boy Mike. Our boy Mike, he had gotten lymphoma, so he had the shit on his chest. We used to call him Iron Man because he had the shit in his chest for the chemo.
He still smoked cigarettes
after he was cleared up. 2 months later, he kept smoking cigarettes.
Like, what if
Chris, remember when he tried to say that the girl said he looked like Justin Timberlake? Like, fuck no.
He looked like a fucking Smurf, a white Smurf.
It's like certain things like that, man. It's like
look like Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
Like,
oh man!
Like people, the hardest thing for people to do is to change. And if people are like, well, they need a reality check. Sometimes reality checks don't work on certain people.
Sometimes it doesn't. And I think I got a personal issue with this right now because I've been in situations and I forget that I'm a 250-pound black dude that's covered in tattoos, face, neck, everything. So the way I am on a regular basis, I look like I'm a gangster. I'm out there killing people, all kind of shit. But I'd rather watch cartoons and eat ramen noodles. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm in certain groups, I'm automatically getting judged off of what I look like. So they're automatically going to go against me. Like when I was in court, I had to wear makeup over my tattoos just so I could look like the person that I know I am in my heart. Yeah, which is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But it's the life I chose to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I said, even with the movie, dude could have been a piece of shit, but he didn't do this crime. And that's my issue. Don't get me for something I did not do.
Yeah. But how do you go about it? How do you go about if you're the main character, how do you go about getting this guy off for this crime that you don't believe he committed, but at the same time not putting eyes on you?
See, that's
because if he gets off, that means they're gonna be searching for whoever actually did it.
No. Let's be honest. If you like the movie's trying to get you to a moral high ground that I don't think certain people don't have the capability for. I know I'm not one of them. If he really wanted the guy to get off, he'd be like, hey guys, I hit something and I thought it was a deer. Boom, case closed. The guy would have gone home that day.
It ain't case closed. It's case moved over. Now it's my case.
Because that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying how do you? Again, he wants to do the right thing, but again, he also has that wife. Right, no. You didn't let me finish, bro. I'm saying,
I say the sharp as Skip Bayless.
Yeah, he's trying to do the right thing, but he's got all this other stuff behind. I thought I was facing two Chris's right now.
Oh shit!
Like a triple X Jabberwocky.
Look at blackface over here. What's going on? Oh shit!
Shit. But no, he's trying. He wants to do the right thing, but at the same time, he's also conflicted because he has all these other things attached to him, like all these other lives that depend on him. And you put yourself in that situation where you're like, oh, I'm a good person. I might have just fucked up in this moment. So you're like, my life is worth more than his. Is it? Is your life worth more than someone else's if you believe that person didn't do this crime?
I think when I'm measuring my life against anybody's, unless it's somebody that I hold dear in my own life, like, any kids, if me and Lily have kids, yes. My wife, yes, I will jump on the knife in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? My nephew, knife. You know what I mean?
Grenade?
Like whatever, like the consequences.
You can absorb that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, if it's somebody that I don't know and it's like, I don't care about, Like, yeah, that's why I guess I'm different. Now, if it was like he was a father of like 5, and I'm like, oh man, this if he had the life that I was leading, and then I was in his shoes and I'm the piece of shit, I would have been like, all right, you know what? I'm not gonna mess up these kids.
No,
But
you
this
didn't.
guy, for all we know, he was leaving that courthouse and getting drunk and beating somebody else's kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
and
know.
also this movie does a good job to paint the morality that we think we have.
Mm.
He could have
Mhm.
easily said, you know what, I can't let this happen, and gotten up when he first heard the testimony and go to the lawyer, like, hey, I think this might be relevant to the case. And then they could have at least postponed the trial
Yeah.
and then figure it out. But no, he chose not to.
But
So
see,
let's say in this situation, this guy gets off and then the police go out and find somebody else. He's going to keep doing that every single time? You know,
no, because he ain't on the jury no more. Once you eliminate yourself from that situation,
so here it is. The
turn the blind
morality
eye.
is only when you're aware of it.
No, when you actually have a hand in whether someone gets found guilty or not. Because if you have an active, if you're an active participant in pulling a trigger, right? And so you have a choice whether you can pull the trigger or not. But if you're just, you in fucking, Florida Mall shopping for fucking Beanie Babies and someone gets shot down the street, it ain't got nothing to do with you.
But if you're the one that did the shooting and then you got home and you read on the newspaper that somebody got arrested for the shooting you did, and you're like,
No. If you shoot a bullet in the air and then you all of a sudden hear about somebody, being struck by a random bullet sometime, you might look at it and be like, was that me? It might not have been. We in a high traffic crime area. Marcos is everywhere. So we ain't, don't know what to do. So it might not be you, but because you shot a gun in the air that day, you might be like, oh shit, was that me?
and that's a life lesson you learn. Just don't do that shit no more.
Mm-hmm.
If you care about life, you know what I'm saying?
my thing is, I would have been like at home. I would have reasoned to myself and be like, man, it's not my fault he ain't have lawyer money. If he would have had a good lawyer, he would have gotten rid of this entire charge.
Oh, man.
I 1 out of 12 jurors, baby. Like
Marcos,
I ain't got.
Marcos, you're the black lady that was in the jury room. She was like, I got kids.
I got kids.
They dependent on me. I need to just guilty so I can go.
Yeah, for real. Oh no, man.
Chris is the juror that he's the white lady that was like, I bet this is my third jury. I've done this before. Like I know how this goes. Let me be the floor person.
If anything, I'd be the Asian lady. I know what I know, but I wouldn't say shit to somebody else pointing it out.
So what if J.K. Simmons' character Harold would have came up to you and be like, "Hey, man, I did this investigation, and it's you, dog."
Well, see, because obviously you
Chris
you
would be
can't
like,
do
we
that.
all look alike.
Hi, what you talking about, Willis? What you mean is me? They come with something better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But no, I feel like if I'm in that situation, again, I don't know what I would do. I can't concretely say where I'd be like, fuck them. But also I can't sit there and be like, I don't know.
And also you're putting a lot of faith in the U.S. judicial system, which is already crooked as it is. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I struggle on certain words, brother.
But look, the last video I was at LL Cool style. I couldn't say LL Cool J for shit, so it's all good.
Same shit. But no, we do have a crooked judicial system. And you have a system where you got people who are they just want to they want to win. They want to win in court.
See, those cops didn't need to coerce a witness to say it was him, but they did.
But see, even the lady defended. Wasn't she running for Congress or some shit like that?
DA.
Prosecutor. For DA.
So she wanted to win for her own personal gain. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has their own agenda. And I learned this in court. You know what I'm saying? I went to court for a DUI I didn't have. And luckily, I had a good lawyer that knew the judge. And when I walked in there and told him the story, my lawyer looked at the judge, looked at me, and gave a head nod, and basically told him that, hey, it's a misconception. He's okay. The judge wrote on the paper this number. So can you pay that? He looked at me. I said, yeah. He said, okay, cool. You're good to go. That's like, granted, I needed that because I wasn't guilty. But if I was just with Joe Schmo with no money, no lawyer, anything like that, I could have got raped. You know what I'm saying?
What? Like, you're not even gonna fight back. He's like, oh man, I got raped.
You know what the fuck I mean?
That's Tom from the
All right.
Boondocks.
I thought like your decision. I thought you were talking about like, damn, he's already in prison.
But they could have milked me for God knows what, you know what I'm saying? But the I had a lawyer, and the lawyer knew the judge.
Yeah.
Like, they barbecued on the weekend, you know what I'm saying? And the
Yeah.
shit's fucked up, but that's how the court systems work these days.
I mean,
Yeah.
Look at
all
Training
the
Day.
time. Like way back when I had a DUI and like I had one that was dismissed, and then my second one was actually it was bullshit, and I had to go to a lawyer, and the lawyer was like, "Yeah, I got you." And the one that I should have probably gotten convicted, I didn't. The judge was like, "Whatever." But the one that I wasn't, the lawyer, I paid him, like literally appeared. He said a long ass speech that I feel like they just copy and paste their name into.
Mhm.
And then the judge was like, "I understand." And then I was on my way home. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, but okay, when coming back to the movie, you have a lot of people in here who have their own agendas, you know, who have their own goals in life that they're trying to work towards, and a guilty verdict in this case, you know, puts everybody in those, you know, on track to achieve those things, but at the expense of someone who might not be guilty for what happened.
this
So,
happens
like,
all the time.
No,
Like,
I get it happens. That don't make it right. I'm just saying, like, if this dude might not have done it, right? Like, don't you have an obligation to see that through?
just like an obligation that you think the court officials have to make sure that you have a fair trial.
Mhm.
But as we know, you know, I don't know how it is in Florida, but I know in New York, a lot of people end up in Rikers for 6 months over something as a traffic ticket or even hopping the turnstile because they don't have money to pay the fine or they don't understand. They'll sit there, think that the prosecutor is on their side, and the person will be like, not even look at you, look at what you did, look at anything, because they don't talk to you and be like, oh, you know what I can do, I could give you 3 months,
Yeah.
or we could take this to trial and you got to take off of work and do this and blah blah blah, but you know, you just do these 3 months and you'll be done with it.
Well, okay. So, but here's the thing, right? And this is just spitballing, but like, if you're guilty of doing that thing, like, you're gonna be either choice with either do the time or cut that deal and do something shorter, you know, even
But
if it's as simple as jumping the turnstile. But you did it.
Yeah, but
This one, he might not have done it.
Like, here's the thing: if 5 people of different races walk in and do the same crime and are seen by the same judge, I guarantee you that every person is going to be treated differently.
I'm sure they are. They don't
And
make it
it's
right.
not supposed to. The letter of the law is supposed to make it so.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's right, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying that shouldn't we be, you know, chasing justice when we can? And you can't just you can't sit there and say because it happens all the time, then fuck it, I'm just gonna keep going with status quo.
You know what?
'Cause that's how Chris ends up, you know, the way he is.
My thing is my thing
Sad but true.
is like, you know, when is it gonna be my turn? Why do I gotta play the rules that they don't play themselves?
You gotta,
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It sucks. The whole system sucks. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta live with yourself. You have to live with yourself.
Yeah.
Not because the movie, in my opinion, went this deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you have to live with yourself with the decisions you make. Like, if the dude would have been found guilty, which he was, the DA had to live with the fact that she just put an innocent man in jail with facts that she had to go research herself. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
She couldn't live with that. Even though she wanted to extracede, something in her morality was like, I can't let this ride.
You are holding the DA, you're holding her to a higher standard than she is. Because
What you mean? That's the chick from Shaft. She's important.
Yeah. Think about this. Not only she got a conviction, which led to her election, but then after it was all said and done, then she circled back the block and got him to get another conviction on her record. She ain't do all this until after she got elected. Some time passed. They got the knock on the door at the end. Think about it.
I get that, but what I'm saying is just because the system is unfair doesn't mean you should live life saying, I'm just going to take advantage of the system. I think you have to have a higher standard for yourself. And granted, you're gonna see people get away with some shit that you feel like you should be able to get away with too. But at some point, somebody out there has gotta, have a straight head on their shoulders. They can't just, if you have everybody taking advantage of the system, you're just left with chaos.
Well, like the DA said, Tony Collette, when they were sitting on the bench, he came. She said, like, listen, if you thought that was you that did that, if you would have came forward, they would have not done anything bad to you. But now that you sat by, and it's like they never showed once in the flashbacks that were legit that he actually did it.
Yeah,
it's like an inkling.
Yeah,
it's like if me and you get into a fist fight, and I knock you out, and then
happening. But go ahead.
It's too short.
You got too much padding on your knuckles, bro. So, like 14-ounce gloves.
Like, and then I leave you face down.
See, you're talking like it's gonna happen.
No, but like, let's say I leave you face down, and then you have an epileptic seizure that I didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
How is it my fault that you died because let's say you like chose
because you knocked me out?
Unless you can prove what the fight was about.
At every fight, am I supposed to you attacked me and then you got?
No, I attacked you. That's self-defense.
I'm supposed to put you on the.
No. If I attack you, that's self-defense. You're good. But if you attack me, if you you mad because I jumped in front of you in Old Country Buffet, and you start the fight with me and you knock me out, you just think you're knocking me out, but then I hit the ground, have an epileptic seizure, die. Yeah, that's on you, right? You ain't need to fight me over the mashed potatoes. You did.
But if we got there, if anything, I should be booked on simple assault.
No, because
I know that you have, we got into an argument. I'm not going to just randomly knock you out. We got into
Apparently you did. You let it get physical over. You let it get physical over mozzarella sticks and crab legs.
What if you hey man, shut the F up, you whatever insult fat joke here, and I'm like, oh okay.
Just call him a little fucking rice patty or fucking.
If you take your little dick ass out here, just leave me alone, my burger. What I'm saying is you can't sit there and escalate a situation and then be mad well, I didn't know. Well, you shouldn't have escalated the situation. Mm-hmm. You didn't need to fight. You chose to fight. So you got the consequences come with whatever you chose to do. I chose to run up on you because, they was running out of, dip. So I was like, fuck you, get out the way. That's my fault. I deserve to get knocked out.
No, the seizure comes with it. It's just look, man.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing, it's funny because both individuals made poor choices. Yeah. If this guy wasn't an alcoholic earlier in his life, and didn't have a sponsor, he could have easily been like, hey man, it was dark, it was rainy, I hit something, I thought it was a deer. Yep. But they're gonna be like, nah, bro, you have a history of being an alcoholic. You were drunk. Mm-hmm. You can't backdate a sobriety test.
Yeah.
Unless
even if he got it up the next day, if he saw it on the news, right? If he saw it on the news, he would have still gotten convicted.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Because they would have been like, oh, you were probably drunk. Why were you at a bar? He was like, well, he could explain it to that is perfectly clear to everybody.
He talked about it. He just had what, 2 miscarriages or something like
that. His wife had the miscarriage and the twins. It was supposed to be the birthday of the twins.
Mm-hmm.
But, he messed up by being at that bar at all.
Yeah. So
small choices ended up to something. You know what I mean? And that's a tough pill to swallow. That's what I'm saying. As a human being, that you're as individuals, I'm not talking about family and everything.
Yeah.
If we have a fight or flight inherent nature in us, you know what I mean? If it's just if somebody starts shooting, our natural instinct is to run, not to turn around and see if everybody's okay. Our natural instinct is to run, unless you're a soldier. Well,
no, you're right. That's instinct is to run. You know what I'm saying? But life will cause you to be different things at different times. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's that 1 in a million that does. It's that 1 in a million that does the right thing at the right time or whatever.
Yeah,
if you want to
you
look
get
at it
that
that
one.
way.
You get that one Steve Rogers that jumps on the fucking grenade.
Nice, I ain't
Everyone
doing all
else
that.
ducks for cover.
Nice,
Yeah,
I do
like
all that.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I've never been in a
I
situation
would like.
like that.
I look at y'all like, yo, I'm hanging around the wrong people. I need to get out of here.
Like, I might jump in and help you and end up taking an L. Like, let's say we're hanging out and somebody starts messing with you, and I'm like, nah, man, they're about to jump my man Makazi. And then I jump in and then I die because I interfered.
I'm
Like,
being.
my whole family's gonna be like, what the hell? Like, is Makazi gonna like, oh yeah, man, Marcos,
Nah,
but
I'm like,
that Marcos.
according to Marcos, fuck him.
Oh man,
No,
Like,
but I like okay,
like,
so but in that situation, like I got to take responsibility for maybe starting a fight or something like that. But like you got to take responsibility for jumping in. That was your man's. I get it. You jump in, you help out. You might catch a black eye, broken, whatever. But like it was your choice to jump in. You could have just pulled someone off. You could have just stayed back and just let me get the ass whooping that I deserved. But then we would have words later. But you made the choice to jump in. Sorry, it ended the way it ended.
that's like how every movie starts when it's like a survivor that is like it's always like his homeboy like no I jump in and then all of a sudden they're like yo man you good and then some dude just pulls out a knife.
Yeah.
He's like oh no he died like
No, so
yeah.
I have this boy who that I went to high school with, and he was not bartender, a bouncer in downtown Springfield, and he was patting up a guy one night. Just they're trying to get into the hippodrome, and like they got where one guy had a knife on him, so they wouldn't let him come through, and the guy was throwing some flack because he wouldn't let him come through with the knife. So then next thing you know, one of the other guys that he was with came by with a knife and just started jabbing my friend up. Got stabbed 15 times. So
like yeah that's why I think human beings suck.
yeah, no, I get
The
it.
guy
But what
was
I'm
doing
saying
his
is,
job.
what I'm saying is like you don't expect that to happen. But when you're a bouncer, that the possibilities of that happening are higher than if you're an insurance salesman.
Yeah but
So
are
you
you
can't
gonna
look, so
tell,
you
like
so you can't look at that scenario and be like, oh, I feel like it's unfair. Life is unfair. Like no, but you chose that job. It sucks that happened, but you chose the job where that's a possibility.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that got to do with this movie, but
but
Just
I get it. It's like I don't know man I just find it like I'm being completely honest. I don't know. Maybe if I was like as somebody in the third party looking in, like the plot, I feel like intellectually I would have not made the choices that he made. But I don't know. Maybe if it's a real life situation, maybe the guilt would catch me, or maybe my moral compass, which I do have a strong one, will kick in an overdrive and be like, nah, bro. Like I know you said this, but come on, B. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's just like until it happens to you, you don't know what's gonna happen. Like
yeah,
right now, like, I'm a gun aficionado. Like I shoot and everything. But I don't know if I could take like even if it's a fight or flight situation, I don't know if I could shoot another human being.
mm,
yeah,
Like I don't know. Like they
yeah.
could be like, man, you've been doing this for this has been a hobby of yours and you've been all about protecting. And I'm like, yeah, but like so when it comes down to it, like you said, it's one in a million. People like you know what I mean? Like
I mean, when I look at, because I find myself in situations, 9/11 was a big one. People told me what they would have did. I've come to learn that you can say whatever you want to say about what you could have or would have done. Nobody knows what they're going to do until they're placed in that situation, and then you realize what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's because we can talk all day long, but once you get confronted with that situation or whatever situation it is, you're going to find out who you really are
mhm.
because that was in your face, and you got to do something about it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people that say what I would have done are the main people that probably would have ran. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
All right. So if you were in that position and the court case goes through and that guy is found guilty of some shit that you thought you might have did, do you just dust the shoulder off like, "Ooh, I escaped that one," and just go on with your day, or do you think that guilt lives with you?
I think it's gonna live with you because you can. I mean, the dividing factor for me that the movie never ever really confirms, even though everything looks the way it does, it never confirms that he hit that girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's always gonna be the what if.
Yeah, yeah,
So at the end of the day, like I said, just knowing that if I was in jury number two's position, just knowing what I know, I can't let him go down for that, but I can't go down either.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, we still don't know.
yeah,
If his story checks out and he went home and everything else, okay, he went home. That's what we know.
yeah,
I can say I hit something, but I didn't say I hit a girl. Y'all can't confirm I hit a girl.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? When the people that did the body work on my car, just like, yeah, he hit the right fender. Unless they saw some deer skin or fur, because I've hit a deer before.
Yep.
Okay, then it's going to check out. But there's still, you just don't know. But I don't know if I could be like, yeah, I escaped that. I don't know. I don't know if I can live with myself. Just knowing that I might have had a small hand in it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
I think I like. Don't get me wrong. If this was like, what was the movie? I Know What You Did Last Summer. If it was a
Mm-hmm.
situation like that, then I'd be like, ah, nah, this ain't gonna happen. But like, this man didn't even know. The fact that he recalled, then was like, wait a minute, like, real time, like, oh snap, like that's a different story.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I want to say, like, right now, logically thinking, I would be like your man from Karate Kid 2, Chosen, when the hurricane and his uncle got trapped, and they're like, come out and help him. I would have sat back down with everybody in the thing, like, no, he dead. like,
Oh, man.
like,
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I would do in that situation. I'd love to think that I'd, step up and be like, hey man, like I this happened.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even go to I'd go to the lawyer. I wouldn't go to say something to the cops, and however they take it. But I'd have to voice my opinion because of, what I believe happened. But like, or like, just my recounting of events actually happened. But I don't know if, I was guilty of anything or whatnot. But like, I don't know. Yeah, because you might just, it's like finding $20 on the street. You might be like, "Ooh, okay, lucky day. I got away with
Yeah.
this one. Let me just go on and not make that mistake again, because next time I might not go so well in my direction. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
like,
No.
but this, like, ultimately, this movie was good. Like,
Did you watch it? Did you and your wife have like conversations about like what they would do in the situation?
no, I actually want to watch it again with her.
Yeah.
Mm.
I watched it alone for this. I'm quote unquote mainlined it. I was watching on my laptop.
Yeah.
She was sitting there watching some random shit on TV.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, I think that will spark a conversation with your partner, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it's,
'cause,
it's
like,
you
'cause,
don't want to be
like,
married to someone who's got terrible morals.
yeah, but then it's also
Marcos.
like, then it's also
You gotta look
like,
at you like she gotta
whatever.
look at. So if a building falls and I need help, you gonna run back upstairs and help me? And you be like,
I would
that's
do
my kind
that.
of
I'd be like,
trampoline.
yeah, I love you, but if
I
we're
don't love them
if we're
steps.
outside, if we're outside and you're like, oh, hey, help that lady, that young chick or the dude, and I'll be like, oof, that's what I leave that for the professionals. I say that now, but my dumb ass will probably run
Yeah.
into burning building for a dog, and
Marcos
then
would
be
be like,
like, what the
I know that,
fuck?
bro. I got asthma. That just we got too many people
Man.
on this earth anyway.
That's so fucked up.
But then we'll say shit like that, and then if it happened to us, God forbid, like one of our loves, we'll be like, how come you didn't run back?
Chris would be like, I got this old football injury in my knee. I can't run that fast.
I hit him with the famous words. Fuck you. I got dreams. That's it.
But Kaz would be like, fuck them kids.
No, hell no. I'll be like, man, first of all, I got enough. There's enough people out here taller than me. I don't need another one growing up like that.
And now,
That whole height complex.
now, if it was a blindside situation, like if I know that kid is like 6'8" and about to be in the NFL, let's go, come on.
I know you. Listen. You don't need to thank me for saving your life. Just remember me on draft day.
Yeah, for real. Here's my account info. You know what I'm saying?
If I could go back and help Brock Lesnar when he was a teen, like, hey man, when you become a superstar, just remember me. Be like, oh, why you hang out with this old Dominican guy? I said, man, you should have been there when I was like 15. He helped me out.
Oh man.
You gonna be like the trainer on Mike Tyson's Punch Out? He's gonna be riding the bike behind Brock and just running.
Like, you don't need him, right? It's like, nah,
All right,
that's
so
my man.
do you guys think we need more adult dramas like this? Because it's severely lacking in theaters.
I like movies that are not like here's my biggest pet peeve of cinema. recently is I hate PG-13 horror movies. If it's a PG-13 horror movie, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be whack. And I prefer there's certain subjects that need to be rated R, that need to be adult themed, that that I will go see.
Okay,
Like,
so why do you need your horror movies to be rated R? Just out of curiosity.
because then it leaves more room for the plot to take a more mature tone. Like these PG-13 movies is always like cutaway deaths, or
I
there's
have no
no,
problem with cutaway deaths, just so you know. But go ahead.
but like like have weird like explanations. Like I did it because my heart got broken. Where it's like you watch some movie like The Strangers, where it's like at the end of the movie, that's why movies like that are even scary. They were like, "Why you did it?" It was like, "Cause I saw an opportunity and I did it."
Yeah, it's like you was home.
It's like,
That's why I don't trust where Chris lives. 'Cause that's where that kind of shit happens. You seen
like,
The Strangers, right, Chris?
The Strangers not have it.
Oh, bro, where it's a house out in the middle of nowhere. Then some motherfuckers with
that should
masks
be our
and
next watch,
bags.
man. That movie's
show up.
crazy.
But that's one of
Oh,
the
is that-
scariest movies I've ever seen, dog.
Is that the one with John Goodman? Or
No,
Nah.
It's a movie where they wear these weird like burlap sack masks, and it's like throughout the whole movie, you know how like movies is like, oh man, he's a demon and blah blah blah, or he's a vampire, or he got killed, like Jason got killed as a little kid, so he kills everybody. Nah, it's like yo, why are they doing this?
Was you was
Friday
home.
night, and you were bored,
Yeah,
it's what it is.
It's crazy. It's as somebody who rents Airbnbs all the time. That shit scares the shit out of me.
Did you watch the one from last year?
No. I only watch the original.
Okay, watch the new one. The new one is even worse. Like they have a dialogue. Like they're like, "Why are you doing this?" And the guy's like, "Why not?" Like,
Ooh.
Really, like holy shit! Like,
Yeah.
like
What about you, Chris? Do you need your movies to be rated R? Like, what do you prefer? Why would you prefer some movies to be rated R versus PG-13?
actually, I don't prefer either one of them.
Because you prefer G.
No, hold on, wait.
G movies.
No, because I still like my cartoons.
Yeah, Prince of Egypt.
That's too biblical for me. My hypocrisy only goes so far. You know what I'm saying? But I just like a good movie, honestly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just be a good movie. I don't really care unless you're like some great A-list actress that's about to get naked. Okay, cool. I want to see that. You know what I'm saying?
It affects the dialogue, in my opinion. Like, think about Blade. Have you guys seen Blade, the first one?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, Chris.
Okay.
That's religion for Chris. So he watched that shit like it was Superman.
My favorite line, like, motherfuckers is always trying to ice skate uphill. If it
that's
was
what they do.
PG-13, he would be like, cat's always trying to ice skate uphill. I would have been like, what? What is this? Like,
But see, that had to be rated R. All the blood that they were trying to do, that trying to summon the blood god and everything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
there's movies that don't really need it. Like Fast and the Furious don't need it. Like, except that one time on The Rock, when he got off the plane and they're like, "What else do you need?" He's like, "I need you to get the fuck out of my way," or whatever. Like,
yeah.
that was it.
No, I agree with you. I think having a movie rated R allows for it to be honest in its portrayal. Like, you know, if someone's chasing you, I'm like, yeah, I need to get the fuck out of here. You're not gonna be like, I need to go to this door right here. Like, there's certain things that get hampered when it's PG-13. But with that being said, you know, some of the things that people say, like, you need a rated R for certain things because you want more blood. I just don't think it needs it. The Dark Knight is a PG-13 movie, and it's fucking phenomenal.
Okay, let me ask you this though, real quick. You just brought up something in it, the first one. Not back in the day, the one that came a couple years ago.
Yep.
One of the funniest parts of the movie to me is when the monster actually started showing itself, and the kid that broke his arm was like, "Don't you fucking touch me!" I thought the shit was hilarious because it needed that. You know what I'm saying?
No, but okay. Here's where I think, you know, in that one I didn't. Okay, so in the original, when Georgie sticks his hand down the fucking drain to go get the balloon, and Pennywise just opens his mouth. Hold on. Pennywise opens his mouth, you know, and then it cuts away. But then in the new one, he opens his mouth. Then all of a sudden it shows this CGI fucking biting down like jaws on his arm, and I'm just like, you didn't need that. I felt like they put that in there just because, it's rated R. Let's shut the thing.
I'm one of the few people that I know in most recent times that read the book. Like,
Are you saying we ain't reading?
No, I'm just saying the first movie
Black
was
people
a
don't read, you know that.
TV movie.
TV Guide.
It was a TV series type deal.
Yeah.
So it was edited completely. Like the whole thing about the sexual abuse that they included in the new one,
Hmm.
the whole book has this whole thing about this whole child like teen orgy, and it's like it's crazy. Like they cut out some crazy shit from the movie. So it's like you kind of first of all, the author who made it, Stephen
Stephen
King,
King,
is
bro.
Hmm.
wild. He's
Stephen
wild
King.
as hell
Yeah, yeah.
for him. Like the stuff that he wrote in that, but it's like also like the movie changed up. Like, you know what I mean? Like it didn't like the second one felt more stakes, like the remakes. The two remakes felt there was more stakes in it.
Yeah.
And you know, whereas like I didn't believe John Ritter as a scared, tortured adult in the first one. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and like I like cutaways. Yes, cutaways are good. Like not you don't have to show them all, but I feel like you got scared more of Pennywise in the second movie based on the character. I think we were creeped out for the first one because of Tim Curry and how an amazing actor he was.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I think the second Pennywise, the 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 um the actual personification of evil was
Yeah.
more there.
Okay. Yeah. All right, yo. Final thoughts on Juror number 2, the latest movie from Clint Eastwood. I think it's the latest. He might have another one out. I don't know. But final thoughts,
No,
Chris. You first, since you picked the movie.
like I said, I liked it. I think it's a great movie. Like Marco said, that will tell you about yourself. Like it's really a movie about self-analyzation on every aspect. Whether you're the person on trial, the DA, the juror, the judge, what would you do in that situation?
Yeah.
And are you a piece of shit or not? That's all.
Chris, you got bugs flying in front of your camera.
Yeah, the motherfucker won't leave. I don't know what the fuck. Look, I've been fighting this shit on the goddamn fucking episode.
Yeah. All you need is in the background. You see someone going in the arms of the.
Wow.
This motherfucker been sitting here. I've been trying to hide it, swiping it away, but like I can't catch this little shit.
See, let me give you some chopsticks. You catch it real quick.
I know, right?
How about you, Marcos? What do you think of Juror number 2?
I thought it was a good movie. Like I said, Chris said, it makes you think. And it's like I guess I'm more realist. Like I'm like logically I would do things this way, but it's a crazy movie. I think it was well directed. I thought that Nicholas Holt as the title character, Juror number 2, was great. Um, I wish we would have had more J.K. Simmons in it,
Yep.
but it was good. I would definitely recommend it. I'm gonna watch it with the wife to get her opinion. So
I think movies like this. I think we need to need to have more movies like this in theaters. I love this movie. It reminded me of like a lot of the old John Grisham movies, and like Primal Fear. Just an adult drama. You're not bogged down by trying to move like weird plot points or crazy CGI or just any fantastical elements. It's just an honest human story that makes you really consider like what you would do in that moment. How would you feel if you were in the position you are? And I think a lot I feel like nowadays when you think of cinema and you think of movies, the budgets keep going higher, so you keep thinking that a good movie is something that has all these crazy elements to it, when in actuality this is a good story and good acting. That's all you need. So yeah, I think we should have more movies like this in theaters, not just on streaming. I'm surprised. I'm upset that I didn't know this was. I don't know if I would have watched it because I watched the trailer.
Mhm.
I don't know if I would have went to the theaters to see it based on the trailer though.
it looks like Warner Brothers put this out because they already had the HBO Max date set.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a real conjuncted like release. They just wanted to release because sometimes it could be Clint Eastwood is like, no, you got to release my movie to theaters.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, cool, we'll release it. And then it's like 3 weeks later, it's on Max. Like, it's like we kept our end of the bargain.
Yeah. But I mean, I wish more movies like this would do well into. That's why I got excited when Oppenheimer came out. Because Oppenheimer, there wasn't no funny parts to it. It was just a straight dramatic story about this moment in time, and it fucking made almost $1 billion. So I want more movies like this to do that. All right. Well, that's the latest episode of Sarat and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Once again, it is your boy Sarat, aka Makazi.
Your boy Chris Brown, aka Red 4 Delta. Let me get up there.
It's your boy Marcos, aka the man on the couch, aka at the Sunset Kid,
aka fuck you, he's running away.
in a heartbeat.
or even worse, I'd just be like,
You a 3D printed grenade?
He got 3D for the grenades. What are you planning over there? God damn it! He got a face on a grenade.
Oh
man!
Oh no, this is from Squid Games. I printed the mask.
Yeah, but you printed it. You know what I'm saying? What are you over there planning?
He wanted to see what he looked like with high cheekbones. That's what it was.
Whatever.
Like Naomi Campbell.
I print random stuff. Like I print Jordans. 3D printed. I
bet you he been putting them Jordans on his fingers. He'd be like, moonwalking and shit.
I can't confirm nor deny what I did with my 3D printed Jordan.
I bet you you're the type of motherfucker that'll make that Marcel with the shell with shoes on. You're the guy that would make that movie.
That damn movie.
It's great. It's good. Look, I've thought about it again. It's good.
Look, that shit was on the plane when I was flying to Germany, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
like they put this in the lineup?
Yeah,
that shit would put me to sleep instantly."
Yeah. All right, we'll be back next week with something good. Maybe we'll go to the theaters this week. Who knows? I don't know.
This was good, but we'll see.
No, it was good. It was really good. These are movies like this are the bread and butter of the podcast. Actually, we should do something that's a little more old school. Movie therapy.
Well, my next choice, I got one for y'all.
Okay,
but this ain't my week. So whatever y'all pick,
it's Marcos is up because I did Wicked, right?
Yeah. I think honestly,
don't say it right now. We'll do it off camera. If you got a movie.
Yeah. I got a movie in mind.
All right, cool.
Okay,
let us know, and we'll be back next week with that movie. All right, peace.
Yeah. I'm a warrior.